Well, Vladimir, as I promised you before, if I see enough improvement in you...
But how can I improve if I'm getting worse? I'm trying to tell you, day by day I am getting worse because of the circumstances, because of the situation. Now you tell me, until you see an improvement, each time I get worse. So obviously it's the treatment that I'm getting, or the situation, or the place, or the patients, or the inmates. Well, I do not know which. Well, all I want is to go back to the prison where I belong. I was supposed to only come down here for observation. What observation did I get? You call me up a couple of times, you say, well, take some medication. Medication for the mind? I'm supposed to take medication for if I have some bodily injury, not for the mind. My mind is perfect. Because I am obviously logical, I know what I'm talking about, there's nothing, and I am excited. Yes, that's the only fault you might find with me, and I have a perfect right to be excited. I've been here for a year and a half. And this place is doing me harm. I come in here, every time I come in here, you tell me I look crazy. Now, if you don't like my face, that's another story. But that has nothing to do with my mental stability. I have an emotional problem now, yes, which I did not have.
What got you down here?
They sent me down here for observation. They taught me, I went to see a social worker, and I saw a psychiatrist. They said, well, why don't you go down there? Because I had a little problem.
You felt the coffee was poison? You felt people were mixing you up in your thinking? You were shaking?
So, the only part that was coffee. And what sort of treatment do I get down there? There are 100 patients who are walking back and forth who are obviously doing me harm.
Are you working here, Vladimir?
No, there was no suitable work for me here. All I've got is the kitchen, and all I do is throw cups on. In fact, it's noisy. They've got 2 television sets which are blaring, machines which are going. Everything which is against the mind. There was one thing that a patient does need, and this is what I do know absolutely, is quiet if I have a mental problem or even an emotional problem. Yet I'm thrown in with over 100 of them. All I do is yell, walk around, televisions are blaring. So that's doing my mind harm.
Are you involved in any sports here?
There are no sports here. All I've got is a baseball and a glove, and that's it. There was nothing else. Back at the other place, I have all the facilities to improve myself. I have the gym, I have the school, I have all kinds of anything I want.
Are you in any group therapy here?
No, there was no group. Obviously, I do not need the group therapy. I need peace and quiet. See what I mean? This place is disturbing me. It's harming me. I'm losing weight. Everything that's happening to me is bad. And all I get is, well, why don't you wait? Why don't you take medication? Medication is disagreeable to me. There are people to whom you may not give medication, obviously. And medication I got is hurting me. It's harming me. In fact, to be specific, it harmed my thorax. I do know that much what it's harming. And if it harmed, yeah, right here. Yes, and it has harmed me, and has harmed me in every way possible. Obviously, if you leave me here, that means that you want me to get harmed, which is an absolute fact. That's plain logic, and that proves that I'm sane. Obviously.
Well, that's interesting logic.
Yes, it's absolutely perfect. Because if I am in a place, as if I were in some kind of a hole or something, right? And if you keep me there, obviously you intend to do me harm. Isn't that perfect logic?
No, it isn't.
It's absolute perfect. I am getting harmed. I say I'm getting harmed. You tell me that until I show some improvement. Yet each time you said until I show some improvement, I have been getting worse. Medication has harmed me.
Thank you, Bob.
No, I'm in it. Just like that.
He's been much better than this, and he's now falling apart. Now, whether this is some reaction to his medication is certainly something we'll have to look at. However, he was looking a lot more catatonic and depressed before, and sometimes we find that on the antidepressants, you remove the depression and you uncover the paranoid stuff, and we may have to give him larger quantities of tranquilizers just to tone this down. sort of not looking ready to be able to make it back in
Argues
prison.
in the perfect paranoid pattern. If you accept his basic premise, then the rest of it is logical. The basic premise is not true.
Of course. He was very much more closed off and mute before. He'd open up in a one-to-one relationship, but never at a staff meeting. And he's opened up over medical rounds, some. And yet, this is why we had him brought up to staff to see what would happen. And I think he's certainly shown that he doesn't...
At one time, they sought executive clemency for him.
Yeah.
And it is true that he did learn English. Well, now, he was building up with a great deal of hope to get out. And he did get to the parole board at one time. And he was...
Shortly before he came here that he
Yeah.
was to do with it.
He is now talking about the same things, about his rehabilitation from his incarceration up to a given point. So he's reverting in a way to that kind of thinking.
I think he's terrified of leaving.
And the louder he shouts about going back, the more frightened he indicates that he probably is.
This is known as Janssen syndrome.
Well, not quite.
Close.
Well, I think what we have to do with him is put him on a higher dose of tranquilizers and see if we can bring the paranoid elements under a little better control and see if we can get him back on medication, if he's taking it now, and I'm not even sure he is.
Incidentally, the psychological testing always showed that was paranoid was the thing that was going through it all the way.
Right. Right. Diagnosis, schizophrenic reaction, chronic undifferentiated type with prominent paranoid features,